Then, okay, well, now I'm going to have the green juices and I'm going to sleep and not stress out and take care of myself. So that didn't work. I really wanted to prevent cancer, but nobody was looking to prevent that. And in theory, it sounded like a great idea. In practice, it was not. Welcome back to Six Figure Health Coach. I'm Dr. Shaunna, and in this episode, I'm going to share with you my number one strategy to attract your ideal clients. This is my favorite strategy. It is how I built my entire Six Figure Health Coaching practice, and it works even without Wi-Fi. This is how my clients create successful practices even without Facebook ads or websites or any of those things. So we're going to share this with you right now. Now, in previous episodes, I've talked to you about the importance of creating a six-figure health coach and why you would want to aspire to be that. Go back to our inaugural episode if you missed it, that very first episode of Six Figure Health Coach, and we talked about that. And then we've talked in previous episodes about the importance of creating a niche, an expert niche. So I want to pick up on that piece of it. So when you have a purpose-driven expert niche and you know who your ideal client is, that's the first thing. That's the first step. You have to know that. And then when you consider your ideal client, what is the problem that they have that you solve? And what is the solution that they are wanting? And when you take someone from the problem to the solution, that is the premise for what I call a power statement. Now, too often, health coaches repel people with non-attractive messaging. They use client-repellent coach speak. So they'll do one of two things. They'll say, I'm a health coach, come get me. And that doesn't work. Why? Because nobody knows what a health coach is or why they would want one, at least not at this stage of our evolution in terms of health coaches. So if somebody is sick, nowadays, they're just going to go to the doctor. That is their first thing that they're going to think of. But if you say you help this particular person with this particular problem get this particular solution, well, now they will know that if they are that particular person who has this particular problem and they want this particular solution, they know that they can find you, that they know that you are their person. So that power statement you're going to want to construct. So I want you to take a pen out right now and write down, who's your ideal client? Is it busy moms? Is it diabetics? Is it people with traumatic brain injuries? Is it single moms? Who is your ideal client? And what is the problem that you solve? Do you help them with weight loss? Do you help them to get their energy back? What is it that you help them solve? And then what is it that they're wanting? To have more energy, have more mental clarity, decrease inflammation, get running again, get cycling again, get dancing again. What is it that they're wanting? And you can piece the pieces of this puzzle together to create a great power statement. Now, a lot of times when you're asked, and I guarantee you, sometime this year, you are going to be asked, hey, how are you? And what do you do? That is a question that you want to be ready for, because somebody at some point is going to say, what have you been up to lately? And you want to have a great answer. So before knowing about power statements, too often people will answer with something like, well, I really like nutrition and all of that. And I went to health coach school, but first I was a massage therapist, and then I went to nursing school, and then I did this, and then I did some Reiki, and then I did some acupuncture. And then I'm like, now I'm doing like health coaching, and I really like helping people. And so, yeah, so that's what I do. Well, I just all over the place. So that does not inspire confidence. They don't know exactly what you do. They don't know what you do, and you have repelled them away. On the other hand, if you say, I help people with Crohn's disease heal their gut so that they can get back to living their life with confidence. How about you? What are you doing? Well, now we've got something. Now we've got something. So that person's like, Crohn's disease. Now it's human nature. It's human nature to find resonance, and they will go to work to find a referral for you without you saying a thing, but you were just specific, owning your zone of genius, putting your flagpole down on the top of that mountain and saying, I am king or queen of this mountain. So now this person says, huh, my niece has Crohn's. Maybe you could help her. Maybe, but they never would have found you had you just said all of that other, I'm a health coach, and the gibberish or the resume of all the things that you've ever worked at in your life or why you're looking for whatever. So when you're specific and you say a specific diagnosis or a specific condition or a specific person, it's natural that they're going to start to think of, do they know anyone with that? And they may or they may not. And even if they don't right then, the next day, next week, next month, when somebody that fits that bill comes into their experience, they're like, hey, I just met someone who might be able to help you. And they will connect you. It is beautiful how this happens because people like to be of service, and you're not trying to sell anyone on anything. You are just saying what you do, and you should know what you do. And most health coaches are just broad. They want to heal everyone's everything, and they're not healing anyone's anything. So you see how having a very nice, tight, specific niche is really important. And then knowing, having that clarity. I have a saying, clarity is prosperity. When you are super clear on who you serve, the problem you solve, the dream come true that you deliver, now you attract people to you. So it is natural that people start to think about what you're talking about. Have you ever been in a room and people start sharing their how we met each other story? Then everybody starts to chime in with how they met each other. Or maybe maybe you've had a baby and everybody starts to share their given birth stories. It's natural. Or a breakup or a horrible boss or whatever the topic is, then everybody chimes in with their story. They just search their memory banks for something that fit so they can join in on that. And the same thing when you say, I help people with lupus, I help people with multiple sclerosis, I help people with seizures, I help people lose weight. And they will look at, who do I know that might be able to help? They might not say it, but they will know. They can't unknow it. And because it's just one sentence and you didn't bore them to tears, they will come and want more. That is key. You just want to say your sentence, but you don't want to sound like an infomercial either. You want to just sound normal. You want to be normal. That's always a good thing. You want to just say it in words that people can hear it. Now, here's the other piece of it. And that's why, did you notice what I said? I said at the end of it, how about you? What do you do? Or how about you? What's going on with you? Be interested in that other person. Deflect it back. If we have a pregnant pause at the end of when we say what we do, it gets awkward. It's like, okay, I gotta go. When you say, I help them, they didn't ask, but you want to have a follow-up, maybe 90-second story if they do ask, but mainly just have them hop on a call. And once you have them hop on a call, then you can find out, what's their problem? Are they wanting help with it? Do they want your help with it? And it's just a nice healing type of conversation. There is zero sales involved. You're not going to be salesy. You should not promote or sell yourself like that. It's going to come off wrong. But you do owe it to your potential clients to say what it is that you do in a nice, clear, concise way. Be the target that they can find rather than a moving target. All right. So being clear, having a short sentence, everybody can handle one sentence of what you say, your elevator pitch, as they call it. I call it a power statement because it is so powerful. This is how my clients attract their clients and reach their six-figure health coaching practices. So this is very powerful. Don't miss this step. You want to have a clear, concise way of saying what you do. But here's one of the little pitfalls. Even though people are saying clearly what they do, sometimes coaches fall into client-repellent coach speak. So Einstein said that the level of the solution is different than the level of the problem. Once you have already solved the problem, you know the problem from a different perspective, which is different than the person who still has the problem. And that can create a gap. And then you're not on the same wavelength as your potential ideal client. And that can create a bit of a problem. So let me give you an example. Let's say you've lost weight and you know that the most important thing is really you just love yourself, nourish yourself in the ways that feel good, move yourself in the ways that feel good, tune in and tap into your body, and everything normalizes. Not only do you lose weight, but you get your energy, your relationships are better, your mood is better, and you know that the key thing is just to love yourself. And so you have this bright idea that, man, I wish somebody had told me I should just love myself years ago. That would have helped. And you go out there with your power statement and you think you're on track because you're like, I help women love themselves so that they can lose weight and be blah, 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 blah. Now, let's look at it from the person who's struggling with this problem. And they are looking to lose weight and they hear about your program that helps people love themselves. And they're like, love myself? Well, all my life I've been told I'm not lovable. I can't love myself. That's not even a problem I can solve. So, all right, I'm just going to go over here and find somebody who can help me with my weight loss. Ugh. Or maybe they'll say, of course I love myself. That's why I'm trying to lose weight. And then they'll say, bye bye. I got to go find someone who can help me lose weight. So when you come at it from that level of the solution that the real answer is just love yourself, but they can't hear it from their level of the problem, you're sounding like a dog whistle to them. It's not, they're not hearing what you're saying. So you want to come down, not down to their level. That's not what I'm meaning, but you want to come and speak language that they can hear. What is the problem that they are looking to solve? You know, the problem is they should love themselves. They think the problem is they should lose weight. So that has to be in sync. You have to speak in the ideal client's language and solve the problem that they are actually looking to solve. Now, when you're working with them, it's not a bait and switch. You're going to help them lose weight, but you're also going to help them love themselves. So they will get both. When I started out as a health coach, the reason I became a doctor, in fact, was because my grandmother died of cancer when I was 14. And I wanted more than anything to help people live their longest, healthiest, happiest lives. So that led me to medical school and then to become a health coach. So now, as I'm venturing out to become a health coach, I have the bright idea. I'm going to help people prevent cancer. And everybody around were like, oh, that's very good. Very good. That's a good idea. That's a great uh, thing. People, nobody wants cancer. So, yeah, that's a great topic. And yet, where was everybody? There's nobody. So the problem with wanting to help people prevent cancer, no one was looking to prevent cancer until they had it. So until then, they were quite fine with stressing out, sleep deprivation, eating some junk, drinking some alcohol, doing the things. And then if they got struck by the unlikely lightning bolt of cancer, then okay, well, now I'm going to have the green juices and I'm going to sleep and not stress out and take care of myself. So that didn't work. I really wanted to prevent cancer, but nobody was looking to prevent that. And in theory, it sounded like a great idea. In practice, it was not. Now, there are occasional exceptions. If you have a strong family history of someone, or one of my clients helps women who are BRCA positive, they're positive for the breast cancer gene, and all of your sisters and mothers and everybody's had cancer, then maybe. The other exception to prevention generally is Alzheimer's. If you've had to take care of a loved one with Alzheimer's, then you are like what my client Tamara does, helps people prevent Alzheimer's because they have the gene, they're at risk. They know they can't wait until they get it to get themselves out of it. They know that they have to get out ahead of it ahead of time. So there are occasional exceptions, but for the most part, for me, that's where I was at. So I was looking at things from a different perspective than my ideal client was. So I had to look at, well, what were they looking for? Well, what they were looking for, the problem they thought they had was they were a busy mom looking to lose weight and get their energy and like feed a family very quickly and go in a million directions. That was the problem. How do they didn't want to make their kids sick. They didn't want to get sick. They wanted to have energy, but mainly they wanted to have to lose weight because everybody could tell that they wouldn't always know if they were sleep deprived. They didn't always know about their blood sugars, but everybody could tell if they had excess weight. So that was their number one priority. So what I did was I helped these busy moms lose weight, but I could do it in a superfood, anti-inflammatory, alkaline type of way that would also prevent cancer. So they got what they wanted, the weight loss, and I got what I wanted. Now the thing is, we'll never know how many cancers we prevented because the only way to know that, whether your program was successful or not, is to wait until they die and see if they died of cancer. So it's not a really great 3 month, 6 month, year-long program. We want to have something more tangible that they are looking for, that they're going to get out of it so that they have some buy-in to moving through your program. So the messaging that you use is really important. And when in doubt, put yourself in your ideal client's shoes where they are right now when they're coming to see you before they've solved the problem. What do they feel is the most pressing issue? What is it that they are looking for? What do they want? And then speak to them in that way. What can you reasonably improve on in a 3 month or so time period? And then you can say, I help these people get, one of my clients, Bess, helps dancers. She's the dancers health coach, and she helps dancers get rid of debilitating back and SI joint pain so that they can dance again, so that they can, well, she says, eat space. I don't even know what that means. I think that means like fly through the air and do what they were meant to do. That's who she is. That's what she's good at. She teaches these dancers all the time anyways. So when you're specific, those dancers, now if the dancers go to somebody else, if they go to the doctor will say, hey, just hang up the dancing shoes. Don't dance anymore. Like, problem solved. Take 2 aspirin. Call me in the morning. They're not getting it. She knows these people just live to dance. Not everybody, but her people, her ideal clients do. And she can speak to them. She knows what they need and what they need now. And they can't just jump to the finish line. There's some things that they have to do ahead of time and take that holistic approach, come at it from every angle. So I hope that is valuable to you. There's a lot more on attractive messaging that we will want to cover over upcoming episodes. If you have questions, or if you feel like you are spraying client repellent around and nobody can find you, then just do a little check-in. Are you speaking in words that we use in the coaching space, feeling connected, those kind of things? Whereas the person who's looking at laying down their hard-earned cash, they're actually looking to solve a problem, and we want to flower it up, and they can't actually tell, what is it that you do? Live your best life. What does that mean? So I hope you got value out of this episode. In the next episode of Six Figure Health Coach, we are going to share the secret to success. It is, you're not going to want to miss that one. It's why I do the work that I do. It is the reason why my dad had a fatal stroke and lived to tell the tale. In fact, he just had his 87th birthday just last week. It's the reason I wrote my book, Free to Heal. It's the reason I wrote my book, Six Figure Health Coach. It's the reason I help health coaches. And it's the reason I'm doing this podcast, this video series, because what I know for sure is when you implement this simple tool and you come from love instead of fear, everything changes. None of the other details and tools really matter. If you get this one secret right, you're there. And I can't wait to share with you all of the exciting examples. And this change in perspective, this mindset shift is everything. So you're not going to want to miss that. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. Pop your comments in below and be good for you.